Before you log back into your account, here's some of the crazy stuff that's going on right now in the Necropolis League. And at the time of recording this video, I'm sure about 80% of you guys didn't even know about this. So before GGG throws another patch to fix these absolutely broken ideas, let's get into Number 1. So if you're watching this at the first week of the league, what you should do right now if you're farming essences is this new Atlas passive, and that is Crystal Resonance. What it basically does is just add up an essence to the map boss for each essence monster that you slain. These can be selected at random from the imprisoned monsters that you kill. The whole intention of this is to basically make the map bosses more rewarding at the cost of more difficulty. But there is one thing that slipped past GGG's radar, and that is the same old mistake they did during the Lake of Calandra. So when you enter the map and bring down the total HP of the map boss, say 80 or 90%, you can go back to slaying every single essence monster in the map. You can throw in a culling support and then return to the map boss, where you can skip the whole difficulty part and then grab your massive extra loot. Well, there's nothing much you can do from the Atlas to maximize this, apart from the amplified energies and the same old nodes. But in 3.24, we have a new set of spicy scarabs to literally quadruple your loot from this mechanic. The first thing that you'll need is the Essence Scarab of Calcification. This makes it so that every rare monster in your maps turns into Essence monsters. The second one is the Essence Scarab of the Ascent, which is straight up better quality of each. The third one is the Scarab of Adversaries, which is 4 additional packs with mirrored rare monsters. You can also stack 2 of these scarabs for a single map run. So that's how you get these map bosses with an absurd amount of essences on top of them. There is no way you should engage them without bringing them to low life for stacking the essences. If this is fixed in a future patch, then for every essence monster that you kill, the map boss might gain back a portion of its lost HP. Do not run these encounters below tier 6 maps, as you won't get the highest tier deafening essences. I'd also like to quote an honorable mention from Grimbro about a current bug in the loot drop from these essence map bosses.
If you get a shrieking essence of hatred, which is deafening, and it gets transferred to the boss, I think there's also some interaction with if you get a second one that basically makes the boss drop like 80 deafening essences of hatred. It's ridiculous. It feels like a bug. It probably has to be a bug, but it's not really exploity because, overall, you can't avoid it. Just by playing the lead mechanic, you just end up with them. There's no way to avoid it. It's also not forcible. You can't do every map and get the bug every time, but it is there, and when you do get that, you make like 4 divine.
Now, there are 2 league mechanics in the Necropolis expansion. The one we're interested right now is the one which grants devoted modifiers, which can further be modified with Allflame Embers. This is another huge exploit players are doing right now with the devoted mods, which you can get when you open up a map. So hold on to your Allflame Embers tight, because there are certain modifiers that can be exploited with certain interactions. One such interaction is that when you come across a certain chance to drop currency for every mob that you kill in a pack, you should throw an ember that converts monsters into frogs or rats. The main reason being, these have way more pack size than regular monsters, and that is how you can get stuff like this. When you're farming with this strat, do not forget the Atlas node such as Devout Pursuit, which gives you even more chance to get these devoted modifiers. You can scale the effect of modifiers on your maps with the nodes at the top for even more quantity in your maps. Another honorable mention is that strongboxes have some sort of a synergy with this league mechanic, so it's another thing you can add to your Atlas strat. You can even run these at tier 6 plus yellow maps with the downside of fewer options. But when you do get these devoted modifiers, don't forget to push them to the top, which is where the pack size is at the highest. This, by the way, is before the massive buff that is coming to the game in patch 3.24 OB. So stack your embers, because this stuff is about to go insane in the coming days. Finally, it's the most generic exploit used by most of the casual players, especially if you hate investing or throwing scarabs into your maps. And that is to collect as many maps, open them up, and check for the rewards until you find something like divine drops or the ones that I previously mentioned. This is something I personally hate to do. If you are collecting Aldrich invitations with the T14 plus map spamming strat, this should be at the back of your mind by now. Otherwise, you can spam T6 plus maps with the Atlas strat that I mentioned for the Necropolis League mechanic. And this is why maps are going to be quite expensive this league. There's even more exploits on the horizon, especially with divination cards, strongboxes, and the old God-touched magic find culling, which we missed from the Lake of Calandra League. all of which can be chosen by spamming a bunch of maps with all the nodes for these in your atlas. So make sure to subscribe as I delve much deeper into these exploits so that you, as my dear viewer, have a blast through this league. And thank you for watching.